Do we think that like we just smoked too much of our own like reputation or hype after the 7-0, and that was why Fulham was so flat, or what? Like we're going to bounce back, or
I mean, who knows? I mean, there's just about enough buffer room that I think we can, if we really want to get top five, as it will be, we can afford to draw these next run of games: Newcastle, Arsenal, and City. So I'm hoping for a run of three draws in a row. Then I think mathematically wouldn't be lower than fifth after that run. But no, it certainly is crucial tomorrow as we record to see how we're going to bounce back from. Well, Fulham and Exeter, really, you could say that's two bad games in a row if you include Exeter.
Yeah, well, 3 points at Newcastle would give the 3 points rather than 3 draws, which would be helpful. But I think one of the things that we struggled with was actually after the Exeter game. We didn't have much time to recover. Seemed like quite a hard game. A lot was going on the pitch. Obviously, with the Awoniyi injury as well, that takes some out of you as well. Do you think that maybe Fulham we were just a bit knackered?
No, I thought I heard you say that earlier in the week, and I thought, are we though? Because we didn't start the first team against Exeter. You know what I mean? We did make a lot of changes. Yes, some of the first team came on towards the end of the game, but they didn't play 120 minutes. First team players maybe played 60 minutes with big, like you said, with Awoni breaks in there. So I just don't know if that's an excuse.
Maybe mentally, because it was such an odd evening. It was, I think, the longest match Forest have ever played in terms of when it finished compared to when it started. With so even though you're right, a lot of the first team players didn't play all of it, but as Mark says, the feeling of seeing your teammate go down, the Carlos Miguel injury, and the hassle of having to get all the way down to Exeter after that Dubai trip, it almost mentally, I think, was the big challenge after Exeter, rather than necessarily physically for all of the players.
Maybe. Do you think Dubai maybe made a difference? Do you think anything that's like being to Dubai, obviously the heat, obviously having to travel back? Do you think that's maybe kind of thrown us off a little bit?
No, they're supposed to be rejuvenating trips. You know what I mean? Surely they wouldn't go if they thought everyone comes back knackered after partying all week in the heat. But I don't know.